Hi everyone, Mrs. Bilo here. In this video, I'm going to explain what you will be doing for the second part of the Popsicle Stick Allele Simulation Lab. So the first thing is make sure that you write down all of your group members' names so that when your teacher goes to grade, they know who is in what group. And for this part of the lab, you're going to be recording a video to summarize and explain what happened in the first part of the lab. So let me go back to the first part for a second. So in the first part, you had popsicle sticks that represented DNA or chromosomes, and they had letters written on them, which represented the alleles. Remember, an allele is a variation of a gene, and the gene that we were focusing on was the trait for horns. And there were two alleles that we had, 2 horns and 1 horn. And these were the parents. And you took those popsicle sticks, one from each parent, and put them into an offspring. And you repeated that 20 times to collect your data for the observed results. Then you calculated the expected results by doing some math in your Punnett square to find what your percent deviation was. So how far off were you from what you expected to happen? Obviously, if you got 0% deviation, then you got exactly what was expected. If you got a little bit higher percent deviation, then you might have been a little bit off from what you expected to happen. And then we answered some analysis questions. So back to this. So when you are making your video and you start doing your recording, the first thing is before you even start recording, you will type a script, and I would type it in this space down here. And I would make sure you know who is saying what part in your group. And when you go to record your video, you do need to have you're recording your face and the audio so we can see everything. And you are going to state each person's name, or each person will state their name and what class period you're in, and then the title of the lab, which is the Popsicle Stick Allele Simulation Lab. In your response, each person can be reading from your script, which will be answering these questions. And while you are answering those questions, you are, of course, going to be using these vocabulary words here and make sure you are using them correctly. Then, once you have answered those questions, then you can go into the part where you physically show what you did in the lab. So let me switch to my camera so I can show you what that will look like.